You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
My first guest this morning is Shane Hughes from Lean Unlimited. Shane, you might start by telling me a bit about your own background, please.
All right, Karl. I'm from Cork. I went to college in Limerick. For the last 20 years, I've been working with multinationals, the likes of Cadbury Schweppes, H.D. Heinz, Coca-Cola, C&C Group. I've been fortunate enough to literally travel the world. I've seen a lot of interesting places, seen a lot of good practices in companies, and I suppose I've taken those practices now and I've deployed them through Lean Unlimited to help other companies be efficient.
Tell me about some of the roles that you had within those multinationals over the years.
Again, I've been everything from material manager in the likes of H.D. Heinz, Karl, to supply chain manager with Coca-Cola, and in the end actually travelled in the world with Coke, rolling out the Coca-Cola system, which was SAP, which was the Coca-Cola business system. From there went on to C&C, became IT and continuous improvement director with C&C, again helping the company become more efficient.
And where did the idea come for Lean Unlimited?
Well, if I can take you back to Coca-Cola, and while I was with Coke, Coke decided they were going to invest in Lean and make the business more efficient. Now, I must say, we were quite interested in this because we all thought in Coke in Ireland we were very busy and working very efficiently, and what could Lean do for us? So a number of consultants from McKinsey arrived over from the States. They worked with us for 6 months, and we were quite amazed with the results that came out of that work, and it opened our eyes that you can be working busy and hard, but you might be working smart, and there are better ways of doing things. So
explain the principles behind Lean to me.
The Lean principles, there's nothing hard about Lean. It's first of all, it's pulling back to the very start and saying, what product am I making, what service am I offering, and what does the customer value about what I'm doing. So in every activity, there's the customer values part of what you do. They're willing to pay for that part of that product or service. But there are elements that they're not willing to pay for, and the trick with Lean is to understand what your customer values and then relook at your own business, product or service and figure out what are the good bits, what are the value-added bits of what you're doing, what are the non-value-added bits, and then you put together a program to basically take out and eliminate the waste or the non-value-added bits, and that gives you a better product, a better service, which you can give back to your customer.
And typically, who are your clients? Lean
Unlimited are typically working with 7 or 8 clients at any one time. We're not interested in working with any more than that, because that's the value that we can offer working with that sort of a base. It's everyone from the big pharma multinationals right down to the 10-man operation, and the principles are the same. The logic is the same. Whether you're a multinational or an SME. We all have processes. Where you have processes, there's value-added elements and there's waste, and the principles are the same. Identify the waste, go after the waste, eliminate the waste.
So what's the process for you when you go into a company to introduce Lean to that?
Well, typically the first sort of meeting is normally about trying to understand the company, understand the product or service the company are offering. And then it's literally going back and trying to put yourself in the eyes of the customer and asking yourself, what does the customer value? Why does the customer come back time and time again and repurchase this product or service? So once you can get your head around what the customer appreciates and values about your product or service, you then look inward and you say, okay, what are the steps involved in making this product or service? And then what are the good bits about it? What are the bits that the customer values? What are the bits that are wasteful? What are the bits that cause defects, that cause rework? Because anything that doesn't happen right first time is a waste. And at the end of the day, the customer actually ends up picking up the tab for this, because the inefficiencies of the company are passed on to the customer in terms of a price. And that's why this is so important. If you can identify the waste, eliminate the waste, the overall price of the product can come down, and that price can be passed on to the customer.
I know that there's a number of perceptions out there in relation to Lean, one of them being this is for big companies only. Is that correct?
No, Karl, you're correct in the perception is probably out there, but it's an incorrect perception, because again, going back to every company that's involved in making or providing a service has processes required to deliver that product or service. Anytime you mention the word process, you've got both value and non-value added elements of that process, and that's where Lean comes in. Lean helps you look at your business, look at the value added bits you do. More importantly, identify the non-value added bits, and the Lean practices and tools and techniques then allow the company to go after those non-value added and eliminate them from the cost base of the business.
Shane, is it a one-size-fits-all approach to Lean?
Again, Karl, another very good question. Again, what I'm finding is that the multinationals are resourced, they're manned up to take on board a good Lean program and implement a good Lean program. What I'm finding with the SMEs, particularly the smaller SMEs, there is a resource issue there. They don't have the bodies to dedicate to implementing a Lean program. But that doesn't mean they can't take the majority of the benefits of Lean. Lean can be broken up into the must-haves and the nice-to-haves. So there's an opportunity to come in and take the basics of Lean, and you'll get 80% of the benefits of Lean by just implementing the must-haves.
Is it true to say that when Lean is implemented, jobs are lost?
No, Karl, again, it's probably another misconception. Lean is all about providing a value-added product or service to your customers so they come back and buy more. Through Lean, you basically you identify the waste, you take that waste out of your cost base. You're in a position to provide a better product or service at a potentially cheaper cost to your customer. That will grow your business, that will grow jobs.
Shane, apart from the larger companies, I would say that a very small percentage of companies overall have implemented Lean. Why do you think the reason for that is?
Well, first of all, Karl, it's very new. I mean, if you go back 5 years ago, the only companies looking at implementing Lean were the multinationals. It's only now it's filtering down to the SME sector, and thankfully, the SME sector is starting to look at and implement Lean, because, to be honest, it's probably one of the best vehicles out there for companies today to sustain and to grow jobs. And the other reason, Karl, I think, is there's lack of awareness out there in the particularly the SME sector with regard to Lean, what Lean can do for the business, and it's great to get the opportunity to talk to Saudis Radio and raise the awareness on the whole Lean agenda.
How long typically does it take to implement Lean and for a company to see the benefits from it?
Again, I would say typically a typical program would probably last about 6 months, but the benefits are normally seen probably after the first 2 months once the activity starts happening. And again, it's very interesting to see how this happens in a company, because Lean is all about people. It's all about people involvement. Once you get the right people in the room, looking at the processes, being trained in the lean tools and techniques, you see some rapid improvements in waste elimination, and it's really I really enjoy working in this area because it's so worthwhile.
Shane, it seems to me that Lean is all about reducing waste, which will inevitably reduce costs. But businesses out there today will say that we've looked at all our costs. We've done everything we possibly can over the last 4 years since we entered into this recession to reduce our costs. From your experience, is there still opportunities out there with every company to reduce costs?
Well, there is, Karl. If I take you back to the example in Coca-Cola, we were what we thought a very well-run company. We were all working hard, and but it's only when the McKinsey guys came over from the States, trained us in the tools and the methodology of Lean, it allowed us to look at the business in a whole new way and take out significant costs that we just didn't see before that. So, yes, I would say every company out there today is working hard. But the question I'd ask them, are they working smart? And if they deploy the what I would call the Lean lens to look at your business differently, would you be able to identify costs you just don't see today because you don't recognise as waste? So I think, yes, Karl, and every company out there that isn't doing Lean today has the opportunity to take out further costs by looking at the company through the Lean lens and look at it differently. Is
there any grant aid available for implementing Lean?
Again, Karl, Enterprise Ireland are very supportive to their client base in this area. They've got some very good funding in place to cover different aspects of Lean. They've a Lean Start, which are basically for companies to basically dip their toes into Lean and see is it for them, and basically prove the theory, I suppose. Companies then tend to move on to Lean Plus, which is further funding once they get some benefits under their belt. And then for the bigger companies, then there's a Lean Transform program, which is also well funded by Enterprise Ireland.
I just received an email into the show there, Shane, from a listener that's saying, isn't Lean just associated with manufacturing companies as opposed to service-based businesses?
Again, Karl, I'd have to disagree with that listener. Again, Lean is all about identifying the customer value and then looking internally at your own business and figuring out are you meeting the value added part of that customer, or is there waste in what you're providing? Whether you're a manufacturer or a service company, again, you will have processes to deliver that product. Wherever you have processes, you will inherently have waste and opportunity in those processes.
Well, Shane, it's been a very insightful interview. Many thanks for coming in this morning, and I wish you continued success with Lean Unlimited.
You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.